Security matters, mixed reactions have trailed the U.S. military intervention in Nigeria's northwest state as some say the attack exemplifies a tactical escalation amid entrenched challenges. They say the move offers a short-term disruption to terrorist networks but fails to address systemic vulnerabilities. The U.S. airstrikes conducted with Nigerian government approval on December the 25th, 2025, targeted Islamic State affiliates in the northwest, degrading operational capabilities through precision hits informed by shared intelligence. Yet analysts say persistent banditry, Lakurawa group resurgence, and cross-regional insurgencies underscores that external strikes alone cannot resolve socio-economic drivers fueling instability. They reveal that banditry and terrorism in Sokoto and the northwest persist despite the intervention, as militants exploit vast forests for mobility and use human shields, evading sustained Nigerian operations. For this conversation, I'm joined by security expert Dr. Dixon Osage to help examine the security situation in Nigeria since the U.S. military intervention in Sokoto State. Thank you for joining us tonight. There's been a world of reaction trailing the U.S. strikes on terrorist enclaves in Sokoto up to this moment. Can you say indeed that the bandits are on the back foot already and that 2025 is ending with significant improvement in security across the country?
I didn't get your question. Please come again.
I'm asking, from what we've seen with the U.S. military strike and then all the uproar about it, can you say that indeed the bandits are at the back foot already, that 2025 is ending with perhaps good improvement in security across the country?
Thank you, Felicity. Good improvement, I must tell you, because the psychological part of this U.S. bombardment is a very good one for the Nigerian government, because these terrorist guys, they've been, messing up with our territorial space for a very long time. And here we have the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force putting in their best in the past 16 years to eliminate these guys from our territorial space. But it seems their best is not good enough. But I strongly believe that the bombardment from the Tomahawk a few days ago on Christmas Eve is a very good one. And I tell you, it's really causing a big problem in the enemy's den, because one thing we need to understand is that these guys, they need logistic supply, they need fighters, they also need a comfort zone. And I think that Tomahawk dislodged them from their comfort zone, which is very good in the area of counter-terrorism, because when you give them time to plan and regroup, you are giving them an opportunity to, hit the government security forces. So for me, Felicity, the Tomahawk is a form of psychological deterrence, and I've seen a lot of these criminal guys from the past few days migrating from their government space and trying to relocate down west and also relocate in other parts of the northern zone. So the Nigerian military and the Nigerian U.S. military should keep on this bombardment and ensure that these guys do not have time to regroup and attack the Nigerian government security forces.
Curious though, this is one strike, and we've had a whole security architecture in this country overhauled repeatedly, trying to address this situation. And you say, of course, it is not just the strike. They need logistics, they need intelligence and all of that for them to operate. So are you premising the improvement in the security architecture on this one strike from the United States? And would you encourage more strikes in said collaboration with the Nigerian government?
Fantastic. Felicity, you see, just a tweet from Donald Trump put the Nigerian government in a state of unrest, and a lot of them woke up from their slumber. And I think we welcome more tweets from Donald Trump. I personally welcome more tweets from Donald Trump. It is only going to protect lives and property of the Nigerian people. It's a welcome development, because that tweet made a lot of difference from the east, west, and north. And the Tomahawk was just introduced to the Nigerian soil last week, and it's already causing a lot of disarray in the enemy camp. So for me, I think they should keep on the bombardment, because one beautiful thing about the bombardment is that these guys, they'll be disorganized. And when it comes to counterterrorism, you need to first of all disorganize these guys, demobilize them, resource them, and as well demotivate them. And I think as we speak, they are highly demotivated. But one thing I also advise the Nigerian military to do is that they shouldn't just allow these bombardments to go to bed. Once the Nigerian Air Force and the United States Air Force and naval commandos are sheltering these guys, the Nigerian ground troops must go to the urban space where these guys are taking shelter from and ensure that they clean up that environment. It's a common practice in the military. When you go into the enemy's camp, after bombardment and elimination of these guys, you go for sweeping. So the Nigerian military and the ground forces should start going for sweeping and ensure that such territory, the terrorist guys should not come back to that territory. And this has been happening for a very long time, whereby the Nigerian military conquer and they abandon the territory. So right now, any territory this Tomahawk is going to eliminate, and also wherever the government takes over from this criminal element, they must not abandon such territory. They should ensure that they develop that territory and presence of government in that territory.
All right. One sore point in the conversation around insecurity and the U.S. intervention, excuse me, the disconnect between Nigerian government's narrative and that of the U.S., saying that these killings are Christian genocide. That's one sore point in the conversation. But the question is not around the genocide conversation, is rather asking you if that label still really has an issue. I mean, it's still of relevance if we're able to deal a significant blow to the terrorists, like you're saying.
Well, when Boko Haram sprang up, you see, it amazes me. I've seen a lot of spokespersons for Boko Haram. Boko Haram and this criminal element, they've been killing Nigerians from all nooks and crannies. They've been killing Christians as well. And all of a sudden, we have spokespersons from the government, spokespersons from other parts of the country, defending the killers of Nigerian people, defending the killers of Christians. We don't know. They really don't understand what these guys' plans are, because every company or every organization has its missions and vision, and these guys have a long-time plan. In 2014, Felicity, when Boko Haram leader went on air and said, kill them, kill the infidels, kill the unbelievers, kill the Christians. When you see them, eliminate them. That's a genocidal statement. And such acts were carried out during the early days of Boko Haram. So Nigeria has been experiencing genocide, and the figures and the facts and figures are out there. But for me, I agree with Donald Trump's labeling. But if we don't want to, accept such labeling, then we should go to work. Let's start speaking to the Supreme Muslim Council to speak to their people about the hate preaching in their various mosques and gatherings.
Dr. Sagi, I'm trying to interject here because we are time pressed. The conversation around genocide is one that has been very divisive. And the context of this conversation this evening is primarily on the time span of that Trump's intervention up until now. And whether classified as genocide or not, that's where I wanted you to speak on. Does it really matter if we dismantle these evil people?
It matters. Let's dismantle them, first of all, and ensure that they are all wiped out from our territorial space. They all have an agenda. What do they want? What are they looking for? So when you ask such questions and say, what do they want? And what are they looking for? Why are they shedding blood? Why are they, killing a lot of people from our space here? You get to know that they have an objective and they have a mission. Take that word. They have a mission and they have an objective. And that is what the government should start looking at. If the Nigerian government think that Donald Trump is wrong for labeling them, then let them go into the mission and vision of this terrorist group and, unravel the reason why these guys are carrying out these killings. But for me, the killings of Christians must stop. The killings of Muslims must also stop, so that Nigeria will breathe again as a country. But we must not allow these guys to remain in our territorial space. Wipe them out by day, by noon, and by night, so that Nigeria will breathe again.
Doc, thank you very much for your time. We're grateful for it.